And g'day. Michael Gallis here on A1 TV, Healthy Living, Magic Monday. It's back, Magic Monday, 8:30. Good to see you all. Thanks for all your support. Hope you've had a great week. And we've got another amazing guest with us tonight, all the way from sunny Sunshine Coast in Queensland. All of us here in Melbourne wish we were in Queensland normally, but with coronavirus stage 4 lockdown, 3, 4, 5, 6 weeks, can't even work out where we are, what's going on down there anymore. We'd all love to go to Queensland. And joining us from Queensland is Kerry Atherton from Stories of Hope. Kerry, good to see you. Thanks for joining us.
Hi, everyone.
It's great to have you on board, A1 TV.
Thank you, Michael. What an honour to be talking with such a legend as yourself.
I had to pay her a lot of money to say that. That is for sure. That is your...
The Mayor of Melbourne, is that right?
Well, we're working towards that. Maybe one day. Maybe one day, Kerry. Now, Kerry, amazing person. You're one of my inspirations, and you call me a legend, but I've got nothing on you. That is for sure. And the work you're doing in the community, and really your personal story to get to this place, but then to give it all back to community is simply extraordinary. And you can see there, viewers, behind Kerry, Stories of Hope Australia, and she's an author, she's a counsellor, she's a wife, she's also, there's volume 1, this is volume 2, and she's also a mother as well, and really is extraordinary in the work that she's doing in the community. Stories of Hope books, volume 1 and 2, came about from your community meetings of Stories of Hope. Can you tell everyone what Stories of Hope is all about, Kerry, and why you started it?
I started Stories of Hope out of a place of loneliness. And also, I'm a counsellor, and I've counselled many people over the years who leave my office and they feel alone when they go back out. And many people feel like it's hard to be vulnerable in today's society and talk about what's really going on in their life. And so they suffer in silence. And I was so aware of the fact that people are leaving my counselling room and people who don't seek help are just suffering so much in the isolation of their own home, locked in their own thoughts, in their own trauma. And it's like a prison. And loneliness is also like a prison. And there's a saying that I say all the time, and that is connection is vital for the human soul to flourish. And I've been through many, many hard times in my life. I overcome a lot of childhood trauma. And when I was 18, I planned to end my life because I had hit rock bottom. I was a fully fledged alcoholic and addicted to pills, and had been for quite a few years.
And that was at 18?
Yeah, at 18. And I just really couldn't see a way out. I'd been in a domestic violent relationship as well, and a lot of other things had happened to me as a result of being an alcoholic girl. And I just hit rock bottom. I totally lost hope. I felt nobody understood the level of pain and trauma that I was going through. And I heard a loud voice that day say, "Don't do it. If you hang on a bit longer, you'll find happiness one day." And I felt like that was the voice from above, and I didn't go through with that. And instead I visited a 12-step recovery program, and I've been sober since that day. I haven't had a drink.
No, sorry to jump in, Kerry. That's just extraordinary. And just take us back, the voice from above. You think that was the voice from God telling you to hold on?
Oh, yeah. For me, with my beliefs, for sure. I definitely do. And I knew that I wasn't alone right then when I heard that voice. And I thought, I've got one more chance. Even though I felt like I couldn't go on, I thought I must be meant to be here for a reason.
Yeah.
And so I made this had this real desire then to help as many people as possible not have to go through the same pain and trauma that I went through. So I've basically dedicated my entire life to helping people who are going through trauma and loneliness and addictions. And I became a counsellor. I'm a keynote speaker and have become an author. But 3.5 years ago, I hit another rock bottom after watching my mum die of cancer. My dad died from emphysema, and I lost other family members too, or my aunties, uncles, like relatives were just all gone as well in between that time. And my husband became very ill and was diagnosed with an illness, and I just hit rock bottom. And I was the person that was always there for everyone else, and I just felt all alone. I felt like nobody really came to see if I was okay. I had a couple of odd messages and, phone calls, but I just thought I'm alone. And then after that 6 weeks, I visited a women's conference and I heard people speaking and sharing, coming at the other side of the hardest times you can imagine.
Yeah.
And I just had this light bulb moment where I thought, my pain can't be in vain and I'll use it for other people's gain. And it was literally something rose up inside me that day, this passion and a repurpose to get back out there, to not wallow anymore in the pain and suffering, but to use that to propel me into my greatest purpose ever. And 3 months later, I just came up with this little idea to start Stories of Hope and just share my vision to, I hoped 5 friends would turn up, and 30 people turned up that night.
Yeah.
And it just has gone on from there. And every month we hold events for the community. I've put them on free up to this point because many people just, they can't afford. A lot of the people on the Sunshine Coast are really struggling financially. And it's a place of hope, a place where people can come, where they can find connection, where they can find a hand up, not a hand out, where they hear the stories of other people who have been through life's worst and come out the other side. And there's nothing like hearing the story of someone who has emerged from the darkness, to know that if they can make it, you can too.
Yeah, and you take yourself back to your 18-year-old self, where you heard the voice, as you said, from God saying, "Hang on, keep going, don't end your life right here." How did you make that step from there to going to Alcoholics Anonymous to start that process of rebuilding your life? Because that must have been a huge decision to make.
Yeah, I guess the huge decision was admitting that I had a problem.
Yeah.
And many people that I counsel with addictions, they will come to me with other problems. And it's quite clear to me as the counsellor that they actually have a problem with alcoholism or drug addiction.
Yeah.
But the thing is, with addiction, people don't actually really admit that they have a problem with that until they hit rock bottom.
Yeah.
There's a thing that's often talked about, and it's called the blame game, geographicals. And in my case, I changed boyfriends, I changed jobs all the time. People change cars, their surroundings, they move, because in our delusional sense, we believe that the problem is outside things affecting us all the time. So if we change those things, our life will get better.
Yeah.
But the thing is that if we have a problem with addiction, we take ourselves with us into the next situations.
Yeah.
And until there's that surrender and that hitting rock bottom and realization of, I actually admit that I am addicted and I have a problem, there's no getting better before that happens. And my dad had taken me to Alcoholics Anonymous when I was 16, because not long after I started drinking, him and my mum and all their friends kept telling me that I had a problem, and I wouldn't believe it. So I went along to silence my parents. And I saw people there telling their stories, basically warning me about what was around the corner if I continued to drink and take substances. And so then when I hit rock bottom, it was really the last stop for me. I knew it worked because my dad had been sober for 60 years and my mum in this 12-step program for 30 plus years. And I'd seen that worked, and I thought, I'll give this a go, and if this doesn't work, then that's the end, that's it. But fortunately, I found a group of like-minded people who cared about me, who loved me back to life, who understood my journey. And I think that's the thing, when you know that someone's walked the same path, they truly know how you feel, and that's comfort right there.
And with these challenging times, not just in Melbourne and Australia, but across the world, what advice, based on your journey of getting through rock bottom, would you advise other people in all sorts of situations to continue on?
I know, because everyone's going through so many different and trying times, aren't they? It's not just like personal problems magnified type thing, and probably areas where people might not have had a problem before, and all of a sudden, you know, they have a problem now because everything's so uncertain. We're living in uncertain times. And I think the thing that I would say to anyone is seek help. Don't be afraid to say that you're struggling and that you need help. So 1 in 4 people battle mental health issues. This is before COVID. And there's been such a spike and such a huge increase since then, all around the world, with people struggling just to get through everyday living. But the things that have helped me through that time, and I don't say I don't struggle. I mean, I go through life stone cold sober. So I don't really have that outlet that other people have. And so it's extra hard for someone like me that chooses not to drink. But I have to live one day at a time. I have to not fall down and believe the lie that what's currently going on in my life is going to be my reality forever.
Yeah.
That just gives way to fear. And when fear sets in, we become hopeless. Hopelessness leads to depression, and then that's the real spiral then.
Yeah.
Gratitude. I can't speak more highly of the importance of having a gratitude list and continually thinking about what I can be grateful for.
Yeah.
Setting small goals. I know a lot of people that are really concerned about their careers at the moment, and looking like forward into weeks and months and terrified about what does this mean for me. But I think just seeing what you can do today, what's a small goal today, even if somebody has a part-time job at the moment, it's something I think to be grateful for.
Yeah.
And finding like-minded people is huge for recovery. And Michael, you're one of those like-minded people. And we've also connected on music, and having a hobby is huge. Yeah. To get your mind off yourself and the troubles that people might be going through.
And it doesn't even matter if you're not good at that hobby, or you're not good at, or you don't think you're good at it, because it's just giving you a break from everything that's going on, isn't it?
Yeah.
And and you've been fantastic. We got together last week, didn't we? A group of like-minded, crazy people. And you were from northern parts of Australia, where coronavirus is not as intense and as it is here in Melbourne at the moment. And we spent an hour just mucking around and singing songs and listening to songs and doing some music trivia. And it really helped myself, and Connie was in on the call as well, to forget about it. And also, as you said, focus on what's important, which is maintaining your relationship, maintaining your positivity, and just taking it one day at a time, which is something that is certainly happening, not just in Melbourne, Australia, but all around the world, especially in America as well.
Yeah, and I think, like, even at times I have to get to one, like, at the moment, not even thinking about an hour ahead or, you know, tomorrow or next week, because whenever we're looking into the future, that produces anxiety.
Yeah.
And whenever we're looking back to the what ifs and having regrets, that produces well, that produces regret.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's really, really living, maintaining mindfulness and thinking, okay, I'm safe right here now. It really gets down to the, hierarchy of needs. Do I have food, shelter?
Yeah.
Do I have someone to talk to? Am I warm, the temperature, am I warm, cold, so just those basic things, it gets back to that. And then being grateful for that it's amazing what we can find to be grateful for when we're in the midst of really hard times, and what we actually take for granted when things are going well.
Now, in your book, Stories of Hope 2 and Stories of Hope 1, and your community meeting, there's Stories of Hope 1. There's
one there.
All available online via your website there, www.storiesofhope.com.au.
That's right, yes.
Free plug, ding, ding, ding.
Ding, 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 ding. And I must say, like, in those books is, in this book and the other book, there's 11 different stories of some of the bravest people that I have ever met. And I share my story of addiction in this blue book in the beginning, and my story of grief, of losing my parents, in the second book. But those people continue to inspire me every day, and they're just everyday people who, I'm a bit of a connector like Michael, and we're people, and we just meet so many people. And they're just people that have refused to lie down in their circumstances, but have gotten up, they've risen up, and every single one has said that if they had to go through those circumstances again, they wouldn't change a thing, because it's led them all to their greatest purpose in life.
And that's the same with you as well, exactly what's happened with you in your life too.
Yeah, because it's led us all to the joy of helping others. And when you can participate in helping change the life of another person for good, there is no amount of money that can ever substitute that feeling. It's an incredible feeling to be able to help someone else.
Yeah.
And that's another thing that's been a big strategy for me is when I go through hard times, is seeing what you can do for someone else really gets your mind off yourself, and it really causes you to take a good look around and see that there's so many people worse off.
Yeah.
And just gives you so much to be grateful for, and being part of a community where you're with other like-minded people that want to help others as well. It's just such a true joy.
And talking about helping others, and you and your husband there for a time as well, you started your own charity for homeless and disadvantaged people called Streetlight. Talk us through, why did you do that, and how did you find that influence your life?
Well, it was very interesting because I'd always, sat in meetings alongside homeless, what the society calls homeless drunks and that. And I've always had such a desire and a heart for people that the society rejects. Growing up with a lot of, I was one of those kids that got rejected at school because I was the extremely overweight girl, and I was bullied and mocked. So I was rejected most of my young and teenage years.
Yeah. And
so I knew, I just always had a heart for that person that everyone else cast aside. But my hubby had been brought up very differently, and seeing this, I think he just wanted to develop some kind of learnt compassion for people like that. So he just started to get this desire about wanting to start something for the homeless. And so what we did was, rather than start our own immediately, we had a look at what was being done, and we went and joined what they were doing, and we joined this organisation called Rosie's for a year. And they used to go down to the park at Caloundra and feed large groups of homeless on a Saturday night. We'd go in a bus actually, and we'd have all these safety precautions and
OH&S.
That's right. But me being a bit of a rebel, I broke that on the first night. I have to tell you this story.
Oh, you did.
Yeah. I met this lady, and she actually came up to me and she said, "Oh, can I give you a hug?" And I'm like, "Warning! What? Like we were told we can't touch anyone." And so I said, "Oh, yeah." And so I just gave the little. It's kind of like the COVID hug at the moment, just the small hug, you know. And then she started just telling me how much that meant to her to have some physical connection, because she said that she hadn't actually had a hug off anyone for about 10 years.
Yeah.
And she started crying, and she said, "I've been so lonely." And she said, "I was wanting to end it all. And then one morning a kitten came through her window."
Yeah.
And it just kept coming and visiting her. It ended up living there. And she said that little cat saved her life.
Yeah.
But I thought, wow, being able to just give someone a hug and it moves them to tears, it means so much to them to have that physical connection. I thought, I'll break those rules any day. anyway, we were sold after a year of doing that, and we started an organisation called Streetlight. And Saturday nights we would go up to our local park, and we branched out to a couple of other parks, and we, ended up building a big team and give them food parcels, and just love and accept them where they were at.
And to create that connection, as you said, in communication. And that's what I found working in my charity, Footies for All. It was about giving kids a ball and an opportunity through sport. But over time, I saw it was just about giving people hope and saying to them, okay, we understand you're doing it tough and we're here to support you. It wasn't the actual gift of the ball or anything to do with sport. It was actually, as you're doing, it's just the gift of humanity, isn't it? That you're saying, okay, you're doing it tough. We understand, and we're here to listen, basically. We're not here to solve your problem. We're just here to give you encouragement and hope.
That's awesome, and that's so true. And the thing I think too is that there's so much judgment and division in the world today.
Yeah.
And because of that reason, I have a no religion, no political, no business agenda policy at Stories of Hope.
Yeah.
Because I just believe that we all are on a journey. We all fall down. We all deserve a second chance to get back up. And it doesn't matter what anyone believes, where they've come from in life, whether they're rich, poor, the CEO, whether they're homeless. We're all the same when the lights go out at the end of the day. We're emotions in skin, and we're all human.
Yeah.
And so my dream with this is to have an organisation where people come together, where all those barriers are just laid at the door, and where we accept each other for where we're at in life right now. Whether that's somebody who's just put a needle in their arm, just got out of jail, just left their boardroom and they have, 100 staff underneath them. When we come together for that common good, we're all just people.
And that's exactly right. So far, we're the only human race that has been discovered. So we need to work together to ensure we survive. But sadly, I don't know, a third or a quarter of our human race hasn't worked that out yet.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
And we need to educate them, and that's what you're really doing through Stories of Hope, which has been amazing. And the people you have through your doors, and you've talked about, they're just normal people. They're not celebrities. They're just normal people with extraordinary tales of survival, isn't it, really?
Oh, that's right. And something that happened was I met this amazing guy. He came along the second month of, I'm just checking my phone's on silent. He came along the second month, and he was one of the leading detectives on Australia's largest murder investigation, the Daniel Morcombe case.
Yeah.
And he absolutely loved it because he was going through a severe PTSD battle after working on that case and in the police force for so long. And one of his goals in life at that time was to just get to the front door to get his mail.
Yeah.
So he's gone from this high functioning professional, leading detective to hardly being able to get out of bed to get his mail every day. And he wrote a blog on his Healthy Mind, Healthy Future page where he helps people through mental health with a big heading saying, you don't need to be a celebrity to share your story.
Yeah.
And it got seen by so many people, and it was really the heartbeat of Stories of Hope. And when I ask people to share, a lot of them are like, oh, I've never spoken professionally before. And I'm like, that's fine, because we're not a professional organisation.
Yeah, that's right.
And we've had a couple of people who have been speakers, but they also have their own story, but they're professionals in other areas and business, and the audience have sniffed them out a mile away. They've sent me private messages going, oh, no, that had a business agenda, or that was too staged. They like the real raw, the natural, down to earth, sharing vulnerability, and where it's not perfect, where it's from the heart, where the tears flow, where the F bombs come out. People just feeling like they can be themselves. Yeah. We do have a no swearing policy, but it does happen at times.
There's a few rule breakers out there, eh, Kerry?
Like me.
Yes, that's right. That's right.
Yeah, that's it.
Now, we've been
and you, Michael.
Yeah, always.
No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, she's not. And now we've been very serious today, Kerry, haven't we? Which is pretty extraordinary for you.
I know.
But you're also an amazing lady, because you can sing and you can play the piano. And you said to me last week that you were happy to sing us a song. And luckily, we've only got a small audience of around 2 to 5 million people across the world. So don't get nervous at all on A1 TV. A great way to finish off. We'd love to have you sing, and we thank you for having the courage to sing on our TV show.
Well, thank you, Michael. I must say that I used to do a lot of singing, and I lost my voice after my mum got cancer.
Yeah.
And I didn't really sing for years and years, and it's only been recently that I've started to get back into my music. So I'm very rusty, but I just really want to share this song. So it's like Stories of Hope. It's not professional. It's real and raw, and it's from the heart.
There's no professionalism here, as you can tell, as you can see.
And so this is real and raw, and it's from the heart. And it's just a song that came into my mind. I'd actually heard our mate Justin sing it before.
Yeah, hello, Justin, legend.
Yeah, hey, Justin G-Ange. And it's just a song from my heart to every person out there who feels like they're alone. And I just really felt to sing this. So hopefully it goes well, but it's just a bit of fun anyway. So, and I'm just going to sing it. I'm not even going to play it.
Legend.
Stand up though, because
I'm just going to have a bit of a scene change. So just bear with Kerry.
It's better when you stand up. There we go. Got the wrong song there. I'm going to try and remember the words, but
no, all good.
It's just a little bit of a message for everyone.
No, thank you. We love music.
Have a bit of a drink first.
Now, do you need a warm up? Do you want to do a warm up with me? La 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 la.
La 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 la. No,
certainly a lot better than me.
From me to you. When you walk through the storm, hold your head up high and don't be afraid of the dark. At the end of the storm is a golden sky and the sweet silver song of a love and you never walk alone. You never walk alone.
Oh,
There you go.
fantastic, fantastic, fantastic. And that's a great theme, isn't it, Kerry? Great theme at the moment. Just keep walking on, and
That's it.
you just got to keep going. Winston Churchill said when London and England were getting bombed in World War II, if you're going through hell, just keep going. And that's
Oh,
what you've
love it.
that's what you've proved with your life. You've just got to keep going, and it's sometimes, second by second, minute by minute, isn't it? Just keep walk on, continue to walk on.
That's it. That's it. I just got another little song here that I tried to learn this morning, but I can play this song.
Well, Kerry, we're gonna have to hold that over. Otherwise, I'm going to get in trouble, and you won't see me on A1 TV. And you've been fantastic, and I know we're going to have a huge response. So, if you're happy to hold that over, we would love to have you back on A1 TV, Healthy Living, and in a few weeks. And just really want to thank you for your time, for your expertise, for your honesty, for your passion, and for all you do for other people. It's you have an extraordinary story, and it's even more extraordinary because that you have decided to help other people through what you've learnt. And we're very lucky to have you on A1 TV. I'm very proud and lucky to have you as a friend, and you inspire me to continue to do all the community work that I do in the community. I'm sure all our viewers who watch tonight's episode will be thinking exactly the same thing. And we can't wait to have you back on.
Thank you, Michael. Love your work. Hi to everyone out there.
So look after yourself. Here's a bit of an Urdu farewell that we go through. Shaba Shaba.
Do I have to say it? Shaba Shaba?
You do. Mazzy Karoo.
Maggie Karoo.
Mazzy Karoo.
Mazzy Karoo. Mazzy Karoo.
Mazzy Karoo. And you'll know this one in Queensland. Hooroo.
Hooroo.
Michael Gallis, A1 TV, Magic Monday, signing off after another outstanding, extraordinary interview with Kerry Atherton of Stories of Hope. Everyone out there, have a great week. Can't wait to see you next Monday. Same time, same channel, 8:30 p.m. A1 TV. Signing off, Michael Gallis. Hooroo.